ለመማር ወደ ትምህርት ተቋም መሄድ ግድ አይደለም።
ናሽናል አቪዬሽን ኮሌጅ
ራሳችሁን ከኮሮና ቫይረስ ወረርሽኝ እየጠበቃችሁ በቤታችሁ ወይም በተመቻችሁ ቦታ
በኢንተርኔት አማካኝነት በኦንላይን ትምህርታችሁን መከታተል ይቻላል።
ካናዳ ከሚገኘው ኢንተርናሽናል ኤር ትራንስፖርት አሶሲዬሽን አያታና
ከእንግሊዙ ኢንስቲትዩት ኦፍ ኮመርሻል ማኔጅመንት ICM ጋር በመተባበር የሚሰጡ ትምህርቶችን ተከታትላችሁ በ6 ወር ጊዜ በዓለም አቀፍ ደረጃ ተቀባይነት ያለውን የስልጠና ማስረጃ ባለቤት መሆን ይቻላል።
ከኢትዮጵያ ሲቪል አቪዬሽን ባለስልጣን ሙሉ ዕውቅና ባገኘንባቸው የፍላይት ኦፕሬሽን እና የሆስተስ ስልጠናም በምዝገባ ላይ ነን።
ጥያቄና መልስ፣ የክፍል ስራዎች ብሎም ፈተና መፈተን ክፍል ውስጥ እንዳላችሁ አይነት
ልምድ ባላቸው መምህራን እየተማራችሁ
በኦንላይን ባላችሁበት ቦታ።
አድራሻ ከ22 ማዞሪያ ወደ ሾላ ገበያ በሚወስደው መንገድ 150 ሜትር ገባ ብሎ ናሽናል አቪዬሽን ኮሌጅ
የናሽናል ኤርዌይስ እህት ኩባንያ
ህልሞን እውን ያደርጋል።
Eden, welcome.
No.
Hiruta Maria.
Awet.
Okay, Eden, ይሰማሻል? በቃ እንግዲህ ሪቫይዝ እናድርግ። እናንተ ሁለታችሁ ናችሁ። Okay. Can you tell me about the structure of the airport? We discussed it last time. ምን አለው? I want you to tell me the contents. Airport, the whole building. ምን አለው? ምን አለው ተባብለናል. I told you to read. You had 1 week. So you had enough time. እሺ, sorry, ቀጥይልኝ ይቅርታ.
Every airport has a land side, air side and terminal area.
Okay, it's ground side or land side, air side and airport.
Terminal.
Okay, very good. Airport terminal is divided, Hiruta Mariam,
By 2.
by
Arrival
2.
and departure.
Okay, can you tell me arrival? What do we do in the departure? First, let's discuss about the departure.
In departure, it's also known as a check-in concourse.
Yes, very good.
So
So-
it ensures that
What do we have on the check-in concourse? What do customers or passengers do?
they check in their bags,
Their bags. What else? What else do they get? They check their bags. They check in their bags. What else? Okay. Then they just go. They just leave. Tamara, please read. Please read. What's wrong? You had ample time. You had almost a week. What do they do? Eden,
Awet.
እስቲ ንገሪኝ፣ እስቲ እርጃት። አሁን she said check-in counter, departure ላይ check-in counter አለ. And what do they do check-in counter ላይ? They check in their baggage ብላለች. What else do they do?
እንትናቸውን ወንበር የመቀመጫ ወንበራቸው
What do we call that in English?
they receive the
እንለዋለን?
seat number.
Seat
Seat
number,
number.
very good. Okay, what else? Who gives them the seat number? ራሳቸው?
No.
Who?
departure section ላይ ነው የሚሰጣቸው።
Departure, the agent two ይሰጣቸዋል. We call them ground agents. The ground agent, okay, she or he will give them their seat number. What else? What is it called? The paper in which there is everything, all informations for boarding. What do we call that paper?
boarding pass.
Very good, boarding pass, is she? Okay, what do we have in the boarding pass? Seat assignment or
seat number.
ብሏል። What else?
Departure gate.
Okay. ቆይ ኤደን አሁን አንቺ ስለመለሽ let's give a chance to ሂሩተ ማርያም. I'll come back to you. Okay, what else do we have?
Departure gate number.
Departure gate number. What else?
Current date.
Current date. Okay.
Boarding time, departure time.
Okay, what else?
Status and then special meal request ካላቸው.
Special meal. And what else? One important. What do cabin crew have to check ብያችሁ ነበር? Current date and what else? How are you going to know this passenger by just checking the current date? What else, Eden?
Destination. Destination ናቸው.
Very good. Unless you know their destination, how do you know what are you going to check? So what did I say? Cabin crew have to check their destination and current date. It's very important for security reason. If you don't check that, the passenger might travel to a different country. እንደውም example ሰጥቻለሁ. The guy was supposed to go to Entebbe, but he ended up going to Rome. Rome ስንደርስ ነው የነቃው 5 hours ተኝቶ. So whose fault is it? Cabin crew fault ነው ይሄ. So imagine the passenger ያሳለፈው, he has to come back and so on and so on. Okay, very good. Now, what's the difference between the air side and the ground side? There is a difference. አይደል? ምንድን ነው difference?
The land side of an aircraft is the part accessible to everyone who comes to the airport.
Exactly, yes. But the land side is accessible to whom? It's only accessible to passengers who have finished all their process, like immigration, customs, security. Then it's accessible to them too. Otherwise, no one can go to which is very secure. And what do we have? We have the aircrafts, we have the runways, we have the aprons, we have the tarmac, and so on and so forth. Okay, okay, very good. And the departure, can you tell me a few things about the departure area? ምን አለን departure area? ሂሩተ ማርያም, can you explain what we have in the departure area? No, arrival area, sorry, arrival area. When passengers arrive, what do they do? Now we said they have departed. What about those passengers who come in? Don't quarantine 15 days እንዳትሉኝ በሬጉላር ቀን ነው የምላቸው ያለሁት. I'm not talking about these days. On regular basis, what do passengers do when they arrive? Selva, did you read?
Yeah, I read half of it.
But what? Still tell me, answer me, what did you read?
I read all module 1.
Okay. You are going back to module 1? Why did you go back to module 1?
No, because there were things that I didn't finish. I was finishing it all, so I could like continue with you.
The whole week, Tamara.
Love it.
መልሽልኛ arrival ምን አለ? What do we have in the arrival side?
They will check your passport.
Okay, very good. What else, Selva? Only passports? Yeah, you'll have to pass. What do we call those people? Those government people? What do we call them? They have a name. Who checks your passport? The crew members? What do we call them? ሂሩተ ማርያም ምን እንላቸዋለን? ፓስፖርታችን ቼክ የሚያደርጉ ሰዎች ስም አላቸው። Very good, immigration. So at the arrival, you'll have to pass through immigration. What else? ሌላ ምን እናልፋለን? ኤደን ምን እናልፋለን? We pass through immigration when we arrive. What else? Immigration ሌላ ምን አለ?
And then they will custom the stuff you brought.
Okay, before you go to custom, what do you have to do? What do they check, the custom people? And before you go to the custom, what do? You'll have to retrieve your luggage. አይደለም እንዴ? First, you go to immigration, then take your luggage, then go through customs. What else? You'll have to go through only customs. What if you are carrying maybe fruits? Fruit ምናምን ይዛችሁ ወይ ስጋ ይዛችሁ እንደሆነ ወይ dairy product. I explained last time. ምን እንላቸዋለን? Quarantine, very good. We'll have to go through quarantine because most countries, they don't allow meat, fruits, dairy products, and the አይነት ነገሮች. Some countries, they don't even allow honey from Ethiopia, like in London. It's not allowed to take honey from Ethiopia. And in the States, you cannot take raw coffee, but you can take roasted coffee. This is quarantine, they'll just dump it and you'll have to pay for it actually. And they'll dump your goods, so you'll have to be careful. As cabin crew, you should know and you should inform your customers what you're supposed to take, what you are supposed not to take, including duty-free. Let's say duty-free, if a passenger asks you, how many bottles of whiskey am I allowed? You're supposed to tell him 2. If he or she buys more than 2, she has to pay taxes. Okay, very good. What's a landing card? Eden, can you tell me landing card? When are we supposed to fill out the landing card? Anyone? Hiruta Betoni, Besman Betoni, anyone? No, Besman, Eden. Landing card, what does landing card mean? ምን አይነት ኢንፎርሜሽን አለው? ዛሬ ይህንን ሳናጣራ we cannot go to the next session. We'll have ይሄ በደንብ መጣራት አለበት.
ካቢኖች የሚሰጡት ነው ለፓሴንጀር።
እኮ ከመውረዳቸው በፊት very good. Before they land, after the service, not on ground. We don't give them on ground because we'll have to secure everything. And now after we finish the service, and now in the landing card, your name, your address, your passport number, your telephone, your arrival, where you are coming from, or your next trip, and so on. We had it in Addis, not anymore, but in some countries, you are required to fill it up. In some countries, health, like Asians, Bamulu, health landing card, health. Bamulu, if you go to Asia, to India, to China, you'll have to fill out, even cabin crew. And then you'll have to give it to you'll have to pass through the health when you go to, depending on the countries. But in Ethiopia, you have to declare your currency form. So, but the landing card is very important. You'll have to fill it out. If the passengers don't understand English, it's your duty to help them fill out. These cards have to be filled out before the aircraft lands, so that when they pass through immigration, they'll have to show the landing cards. Okay. So, what do we have on the ground side, Eden? What facilities do we have? Ground side.
The land side of an airport is
what do we have? We have access to what?
ለሚሸጡ ነገሮች
ground side. የሚሸጡ ነገሮች እንበል። እሺ what else important ነገሮች አሉ። Ground side, let's say when you arrive from anywhere or before you go into the check-in በምንድን ነው የምትመጡት? Do you walk from home? No, አይደለም እንዴ? What do we use?
By a bus.
We use, yes, by bus. In some countries, almost on all European countries, there is a train linked from the airport up to the town. Katama, there is a train. So some people travel with, they take the train. Some buses, taxis, limousines, and so on. This is found on the ground side when you come in and when you go out. How about the air side? What do we have in the air side is when we finish all our, when we pass through customs and so on. Before we go to the boarding gate, we have banks, we have coffee shops, we have restaurants so that passengers could relax. Okay, what else do we have? How about screening? What do we have in the screening? Manada. How do they screen us? በምን ስክሪን እንደረጋለን? ኤደን ትዝ የሚልሽን ንገሪኝ። Just tell me what you remember.
X-ray.
X-ray? እሺ አንዱ ነው። ሌላስ? What do we have?
handheld detector.
handheld detector በጣም ጥሩ። ሌላ ደግሞ vector X-ray ይባላል። We don't have it here, but they have it in Tel Aviv. You know what? ሻንጣችሁ if it has a bomb እዛ ውስጥ explode ያደርጋል X-ray ውስጥ. And some countries X-ray በደንብ የሚያሳይ ሰውነታችን በሙሉ የሚያሳይ አለ። ሰውነታችን just the skeleton ማለት ነው። Okay, the other thing, how do passengers, by what means do passengers board the aircraft? ምን አለ? We have 3 types of boarding system. Boarding gate ደረሱ። So ምን አለ? በምንድን ነው የሚሄዱት? There are three types ብለናል። What are they?
Passenger jet bridge.
Jet bridge. Okay, can you explain jet bridge? ምን አይነቱ ነው? Jet bridge, just tell me, what do you understand by jet bridge? Eden ትረጃ? jet bridge ምን አይነት ይመስላችኋል?
Retractable boarding system which is used for boarding.
ጠፋሽብኝ፣ በደንብ አይሰማኝም።
Retractable boarding system which is used for boarding the airplane.
እሺ ቀጥታ ቦርድ የሚያደርጉበት ወይንም ሲወርዱ የሚሄዱበት። very good. Okay, how about the other method?
Transfer vehicle.
What's a transfer vehicle? What's a vehicle, by the way? Vehicle ምንድን ነው ሲጀመር? Do you know what a vehicle is? Unless we understand the word, ዝም ብለን የተጻፈውን ማንበብ ሳይሆን አሁን ለምሳሌ you should have a dictionary. vehicle ብለሽ ማየት ነበረብሽ የሩተ ማርያም። What's a vehicle?
It's a bus or transportation. ተንቀሳቃሽ land ላይ
ተንቀሳቃሽ ነገር። very good. Okay. So what do we do? እሱ አለ. They go by bus. What else?
I walk from the exit door to the aircraft.
Yeah, I walk from. Which one is preferred by the passengers? የቱ ነው?
Passenger jet bridge.
Jet bridge, because ፀሐይ ነካሽ ዝናብ። very good. Okay. Where do cabin crew report, or crew, sorry, ጠቅላላ crew, before going on a flight? Where do they report?
In home base, they have their own briefing area.
Yes, but outside
if
home
they
base,
are outside, they should do the briefing at the hotel or before takeoff.
A hotel reception, okay, or at there. Very good. But I'm through. What else do we have? Is there anything you did not understand? Hello? Eden, Hiruta Mariam, Selwa.
Yes.
What else? Is everything clear? Clear now? Eden?
Yes.
Okay, so we can go to the next need? نقدم Eden نقدم እንደዚህ በይ Okay, Hiruta Mariam?
يقدر.
Okay, Selwa እንግዲህ please read and let me know, she?
Okay.
Okay, very good, because አሁን ተግባብተናል በቃ Okay, this is what we are always going to do. እንነጋገራለን, then እንጠያየቃለን. ከዛ በኋላ summarize እናደርጋለን, okay? This is how it's going to be. Otherwise, ዝም ብለን መለፍለፍ ከሆነ I don't want you guys ሳታነብስ understand ሳታረጉ እንድትሄዱ አልፈልግም. ግን you will have to do your homework. You'll have to read every day. የተነጋገር ነው. Okay, pre-boarding, how do customers board? My last question. Anyone can answer that. How do you board? ግር ብለን ነው ተሯሩጠን ነው እንደ ታክሲ የምንገባው? How do we board? First, there will be an announcement because there are so many flights. The boarding agent or the ground agent will announce maybe, ladies and gentlemen, we have started boarding passengers to Accra, ሊለን ይችላል. So first, in order to avoid congestion, what do they do? Pre-boarding, huh? What do they do? Who boards first? ማን ነው መጀመሪያ ቦርድ የሚያደርጉት?
Passengers.
I know passengers. What kind of passengers? Of course passengers, but what kind of passengers? All passengers board at the same time?
First class.
Yes, always first class or business class. Then we have Shiba Miles members, which are frequent travelers. They are the customers of the airlines because they travel a lot. Then we have mothers with infants. Then we have disabled customers. All this, they have priority boarding. They always board first. And usually boarding starts from the rear, kohala ማለት ነው. Then they might tell you passengers seat number from row 35 to 40, please board. Then only passengers from 35 to 40 in economy class are supposed to board. Then they might tell you passengers with seat numbers from row 20 to 30. Then that's how it goes. And when you board, there is a scanner for the boarding pass. There is an agent, he will scan your boarding pass. He might check, or she might check your passport as well. But the cabin crew still, they have to check departure and destination. No passenger can board without, even if he or she is the CEO of the company. It doesn't matter. Everybody should have a boarding pass for security reason. And during check-in, the ground agent has to make sure that all passengers who check in, that they have a visa for the car. Let's go. If you are going to the States, you need a USA visa. If you don't have the visa, you cannot board. Otherwise, if a passenger goes without a visa, ይቀጣል መስሪያ ቤቱ. So you'll have to be very careful, not you, the ground agents. Your duty is to check the boarding pass. Their duty is to check their tickets and their passports. No one can travel without a passport. ይሄ የእነሱ ስራ ነው። They will be fined. በጣም ብዙ ብር ነው የሚቀጡት። Of course, ሲቀጡ ደግሞ እናንተ ብትሆኑ ቦርዲንግ ፓስ ሳታዩ ከገባችሁ ትቀጣላችሁ. It's a lot of money. So now we have discussed about the airport structure. Now about the codes. Codes and the use of codes in cities, airports, airlines, and flights. Without a code, without a number, it's very difficult to recognize an airport, a flight, the city, and so on. Because in some countries there are 3 to 4 airports. Like in London, they have 3 airports. All European countries, they have a minimum of 2 airports. So how do we distinguish these airports? So our next lesson will be about distinguishing or መለየት between designation of cities, airports, airlines, and flights. The same. Like let's say Ethiopian. Ethiopian is identified as ET. And all aircrafts have a registration number. እንደኛ ማለት ነው። እኛ አሁን ሴቶች ነን, but each of us በምንድን ነው የምንለየው? How can people identify us? Let's say there are 4 ladies standing. በምን እንታወቃለን? How can we identify? በምንድን ነው የምንታወቀው? ሴቶች ነን. ይሄ አንድ ያደርገናል. It's like aircrafts. አንድ ያደርጋቸዋል። በምን እንለያለን? what do we have? Names አይደለም እንዴ? ስም አለን አይደል? የምንለይበት ኤደን፣ መታሰቢያ፣ ሂሩተ ማርያም፣ ሰልዋ, and so on and so forth. The same with aircrafts, the same with airports. Let's say there are, maybe Ethiopian Airlines has 2377. እንዴት ነው የምናውቀው? Registration. Let's say AAH. Usually it's a 3-letter code, or AFB. So directly with the AFB 777 እንሄዳለን. Otherwise የትኛው 777 ልትገባ ነው? እንደዛ ማለት ነው። So one of the key factors that airline operates as effectively as it does is communication system. This is what we call a communication system. ምንድነው? One important component ምንድነው? The use of codes as designations of airlines. Flight, ለምሳሌ ET, VA. You should know. አሁን ለምሳሌ a passenger has a boarding pass. VA ምን እንደሆነ you're supposed to know. British Airways ማለት ነው. So GF, Gulf, ET, Ethiopian, LH, Lufthansa, KQ, Kenya Airways. So ይሄ ትንሽ ስትበሩ መልመድ ትማራላችሁ. It's not that big deal ማለት አይደለም. But we're supposed to know. So these codes have been used for decades and they have proved indispensable. Error-free, no, by the way. If you don't have this codes, we're done ማለት ነው። አለ ኮድ ምንም ማድረግ አይቻልም። የሀገር የት ነው? የአውሮፕላን የት ነው? የኤርላይን what kind of airline? Which airline? አስቡት እንግዲህ በአለም ያለው. This is how we use them ማለት ነው። Cabin crew, like all professionals in this, use these codes regularly to refer to specific flights and destinations. Even when we announce, we say, ladies and gentlemen, this is ET 625 with code share flight KQ Kenya Airways ብለን እንደዚህ ብለን ነው announce የምናደርገው. So it's important that codes are memorized since every cabin crew comes across them either in the roster or in other travel documents. Very good. Your roster. አሁን በጣም ጥሩ. What's a roster አለ? Eden. Here it says in your roster ማወቅ አለባችሁ. What's a roster አለ? ለምን መሰላችሁ? ስለሚደጋገሙ አንርሳ። ከረሳን so some አንዳንድ words will have to reuse them እንደገና because they are aviation language ናቸው. So what's a roster? Selva. Salwa.
It is a personal calendar with all the details of a crew member.
Like what? Your births and so on and so on? ምንድን ነው roster? It's a personal calendar. ምን ያደርጋል? What do we do with it as cabin crew?
It's like the flight assignment.
Yes, flight assignment. What else? ምን አለው? ሌላ? Can you tell me what it has?
Like a period of 2 weeks or like a month, depending on the schedule you have. It's like a schedule.
You have. Okay, what's written on the roster? ምን አለ? Can you give me an example? ሂሩተ ማርያም
አቤት
እስቲ ንገሪኝ ሮስተር ሰልዋ ትንሽ አብራርታልናለች and you tell me please, you tell us, sorry. ምን አለ? She said by 15 days or a month or it could be 6 months የሚወጣ የክሩ flight calendar ነው አለችን. Very good. This is the start. Content, can you tell me the contents of the roster, please? ምን አለው? ኤደን ምን አለው? Selwa, can you remember what is in the roster? Can you remember, please?
What does
do you
it
have
mean?
In the roster? Yes.
It's like a timetable, like a schedule. As soon as a cabin crew is qualified to fly, like they are sent.
I know. What is it in the? I want to know the contents. Contents. What is in the boarding pass? Sorry, in the roster. Of course, name of cabin crew, name of cockpit crew, your destination, where you are going. ምን ማለት ነው? ወዴት ነው የምትበሩት? And type of aircraft, reporting time. Where you are going, the airport, arrival. Please read. እባካችሁ አንብቡ። እያለፋችሁ አንብቡ. That's what we call a roster. So unless you know the codes, you cannot even your roster. You cannot even read your roster. You have to know your codes. Like as I told you, all aviation languages are abbreviated. በረጅም የሚጻፍ ነገር የለም። በቃ በምንም አይነት ሁሉ ነገር ባጭር ለንደን LHR. So Eden ከናባት ስም it's written on the roster. Then there is the captain, the co-pilot, the team leader, all crew members. ከዛ በኋላ departure time, reporting time, then LHR ምንድን ነው LHR ደግሞ ማለት ነው። LHR stands for London Heathrow Airport ማለት ነው። Then departure time, arrival time, all this ይነግረናል ማለት ነው። Type of aircraft, what kind of aircraft are we going to fly? So this is the roster እና that's why you're supposed to know, let's say 777 AH or Dreamliner AVP and so on and so forth. So you should know all these codes. አለበለዚያ የት እንደምትሄዱ አታውቁም ማለት ነው። So you're supposed to know where you are going.
በትምህርት ከፍ ብሎ መብረር ይቻላል። ናሽናል አቪዬሽን ኮሌጅ የናሽናል ኤርዌይስ እህት ኩባንያ ከከፍተኛ ትምህርት አግባብነትና ጥራት ኤጀንሲ ሙሉ ዕውቅናን ባገኘንባቸው በማስተርስ ዲግሪ MBA በስትራቴጂክ ማኔጅመንት፣ MBA በባንኪንግ እና ፋይናንስ፣ MBA በቢዝነስ ሊደርሺፕ፣ MBA በሪስክና ኢንሹራንስ፣ MSc በኢንተርናሽናል ትሬድ እና ኢኮኖሚክስ ዘርፎች በእውቀት ለመቅረጽ የበቁ ፕሮፌሰሮቻችን አረንጓዴ መብራታቸውን አብርተዋል። በነገራችን ላይ በኬንያ ሀገር ከሚገኙ ስመጥር ዩኒቨርሲቲዎች በሚመጡ ፕሮፌሰሮች የትኩረት መስክ ትምህርቶቹ መሰጠታቸው ልዩ ያደርገናል። በምርጥ የትምህርት ስርዓት የተገነባው ናሽናል አቪዬሽን ኮሌጅ በመጀመሪያ ዲግሪ በአቪዬሽን ማኔጅመንት፣ በሆቴል ማኔጅመንት፣ በአካውንቲንግ እና ፋይናንስ፣ በማርኬቲንግ ማኔጅመንት አስተማማኝ ትምህርት ይገቢውና ራስዎንና ሀገሮን ይለውጡ። አድራሻ 22 አደባባይ ወደ ሾላ በሚወስደው መንገድ ላይ ናሽናል አቪዬሽን ኮሌጅ የናሽናል ኤርዌይስ እህት ኩባንያ ህልሞን እውን ያደርጋል።
These codes are used in timetables, tickets, flight numbers, and reservation systems, like the boarding pass. In the boarding pass, I have shown you the boarding pass. It says Addis Ababa, Lagos, LOS ይላል. Okay, let's see. Okay, this is the boarding pass. Lagos, Addis. This is Addis is coded as ADD. Then we have Lagos, LOS. Then we have ET, which stands for Ethiopia. ይሄ ነው ኤሌክትሮኒክ ቲኬትም ይሁን ምንም ይሁን everything is እንደዚህ abbreviated ነው። Then we have CO, Continental Airlines ማለት ነው። Then we have October 18th OCT. Economy class is usually EY ነው የሚጻፈው። EY ተብሎ ይጻፋል economy class ማለት ነው። If that passenger is traveling in economy class እንዳጋጣሚ እዚህ ሙሉውን ጽፈውታል። So this is what we call codes. በዚህ መሰረት ነው ኤርላይንስ የሚጻፉት። So everybody, station, ground station, all personnel dealing with passengers, they should know all the abbreviations ማለት ነው። So airline codes, they are established by IATA in 1945, which is a regulatory body. It comprises of 57 airlines in 31 countries. Was to help airlines manage their fares and reservations. So IATA assigned cities and airline codes to identify them, and this practice continued today. So in 1945 የወጣ ነው ማለት ነው የሲስተም። Okay, you have it on your manual, by the way. This is the airline name, and this is usually airlines are identified by 2-digit code. Airlines, አየር መንገዶች ማለት ነው። So you have it in your manual. Adria Airways is አንዳንዱ ምንም ላይ መሳሰል ይችላል, but you'll have to know. JP, Asian Airlines, A3, Brussels Airlines, SN, Cathay Pacific, CX, Ethiopian Airlines, ET, Saudi Arabia is SV, Bangkok Airways is PG, Qantas QR ነው, Singapore SA, እንደሱ እያለ ይሄዳል ማለት ነው። So these are examples. So please remember that airline names have 2-digit codes. Airline name 2-digit codes. አስታውሱ። Remember ET, Ethiopian Airlines ለምሳሌ ET, Saudi SV, እንደሱ እያለ Lufthansa LH. So it's in your manual, please. These are examples. So although cabin crew የዓለም አየር መንገዶች ማወቅ የለባቸውም, but ከኛ ጋር ከኢትዮጵያን ኤርላይንስ ዲፔንዲንግ if you fly on Saudi ከሳውዲ ጋር ኮድ ሼር ያላቸው ኤርላይንስ supposed to know. If you fly on Ethiopian, you should know, like South Africa SA, you should know KQ, LH and so on. እንዲህ አይነት ነገሮች ማወቅ ይጠበቅብናል ማለት ነው። You should be knowledgeable at least about some of the airlines digit codes. Okay. Cabin crew are not expected to learn the 2-letter code. It's useful to know some of them, especially those that the airline has code share agreement. ትብብር ያለን ከምንሰራቸው airlines, we're supposed to know this. Airlines ግዴታችን ነው, because announce እናደርጋለን, we should share the information with our customers and so on. So that they can assist passengers who may have questions regarding onward connections. So some passengers might not know LH ይላል excuse me can you tell me which airlines I'm going to connect ይሉናል ለምሳሌ ከጀርመኒ ድረስ ወርደው ወደ በሉፍታንዛ ወደ አሜሪካ ሊሄዱ ይችላሉ so what does LH mean still I don't know ብንል because we have a code share ትንሽ so he's okay the passenger is just a customer እኛ ግን we're supposed to know ግዴታችን ነው at least we should know all this airlines with whom we have code share አሁን ለምሳሌ ማህበርተኞቻችን እናውቃለን እንደዛ ማለት ነው okay what else flight numbers okay now አሁን airlines please don't I know it could be a little bit confusing but find a way to differentiate now first airline codes ብለናል airline አየር መንገድ like Ethiopian ET then we have next we have an airline after the airline what do we do then we have flight numbers what do we need first we need an airline to travel then the second we need a flight number ማለት የበረራችን ቁጥር usually አሜሪካ ፍላይት በ5 ነው የሚጀመረው 500 501 502 ምናምን ኤግዛምፕል ነው የምሰጣችሁ then we have London 730 710 711 and so on and so forth usually Africa በ8 እና ይሄ የኢትዮጵያን ኤርላይንስ ነው እና when it comes to flight numbers we have 3-digit codes በ3 ነው ET 701 ስንል Ethiopia represents the airlines 701 represents the flight number ማለት ነው so for passengers to be able to make their way through the airport and board the correct air they have to know their flight number ምክንያቱም flight number ካላወቀ this passenger might end up screen ላይ አለ okay where am I going maybe 10 አትላንታ ፍላይቶች ሊኖሩ ይችላሉ but they have 10 different flight numbers so የአንዱ 201 202 203 ሊል ይችላል so የኔ የት ነው 201 okay my flight number screen ላይ 201 ጌቱ ይነግረኛል so now we have the airlines ET we have the flight number okay again this is displayed on the boarding pass ወይንም ስክሪኑ ላይ አለ እኛም ጋር ሮስተራችን ላይ አለ a flight number is made up of airlines 2 or 3 digit code and the numbers assigned to the flight by the airline so usually it's 3 but it could be 2 ማለት ሁለት ኮድ ሊኖር ይችላል ወይንም 3 በብዛት ግን 3 ነው but still 2 or 3 ሊኖር ይችላል ማለት ኤግዛምፕል Finnair is የፊንላንድ አየር መንገድ ነው so has the code AY ፊንላንድ Finnair ስንል AY መጀመሪያ we should always write the እንትኑ መጀመሪያ ፍላይት ናምበር በኋላ መጀመሪያ ኤርላይንስ ሁሉ ጊዜ ሲጽፍ መጀመሪያ ኤርላይንስ ነው ላይክ እኛ ጋር ለምሳሌ ስንጽፍ መጀመሪያ ራሳችን ስማችን ከዛ አባታችን ስም the same with airlines the first one should always be the name of the airlines like ET or AY represents Finnair Finland ማለት ነው so AY so flight number 005 የት ነው የሚሄደው then we have the country or the airport የሚሄድበት ማለት ነው as I said New York it has 2 airports it has Reagan what's the other one Reagan እና Kennedy airport እና Reagan airport ነው ያለው ሁለት ኤርፖርት አለ so አሁን AY aircraft የአየር መንገዳችን which is we are going with Finnair and 005 is the flight number የት የሚሄድ ነው from Helsinki ወደ New York የሚሄድ flight is 005 AY 005 going to Helsinki starts from Helsinki and going to New York then we have the departure time then we have the arrival time so boarding passaችን ላይ or as a crew members rosterችን ላይ Of course, የኛ ET ነው በET ነው የምንሄደው ሁሉ ጊዜ ሌላ አየር መንገድ unless we are on vacation as a cabin crew we work for Ethiopia. Let's say if you work for Saudi SV ይጻፋል if you work for Lufthansa LH so ለሉፍታንዛ እስከሰራችሁ ድረስ በሉፍታንዛ የሉፍታንዛ አየር መንገድ ነው ሪፕሬዘንት የምታደርጉት if you work for Ethiopia you represent Ethiopian Airlines. So but as passengers ብዙ flight ስለሚወስዱ ብዙ አየር መንገድ ስለሚወስዱ they could fly on different airlines. So first we write the airline, then the flight number, then the destination. Starts originating is Helsinki, it will end up in New York. Then we'll have the departure time and arrival time naturally. Is it clear, ladies? Dr. Chua, do you have any questions? No. Okay, sometimes the flight is operated by an airline that has a code share agreement with another airline. In this case, የሁለቱም ሊጻፍ ይችላል ማለት ነው። So now we are coming to the airports. መጀመሪያ we started with airlines with flight numbers. Now airports. እንግዲህ አስቡት, it's so huge. Almost every country in the whole world has an airport, has an airline. እንደዛ ለማድረግ ደግሞ we need an airport. Now the airports again 3-letter codes ነው identified like ቅድም ነግሬያቸዋለሁ. LHR where is it? In London. Newark ቅድም Newark. NWR where is it? In New York. ስለዚህ Newark is the airport's name. As I said 2-3 airports አሏቸው ሁሉ ሀገሮች ዩሮፕ minimum 2 አለበለዚያ 3 ሊሆን ይችላል። አሜሪካን ሀገር the same thing they have domestic and international airports የሚሏቸው አሉ because it's very huge congested ነው ትራፊኩን አይችሉትም many airlines pass through አሜሪካ ይሁን ዩሮፒያን and so on as I told you የኛ እንደ ሳምፕል ነች በሌላ ዓለም ስታዩት it's very huge. So now መጀመሪያ ምን አለን airports 2-digit code አላቸው flight numbers it could be 2 or 3-digit code አላቸው airports have 3-digit codes 3-letter codes አላቸው ማለት ነው. Okay, let's look at this. And now it's in your manual. Example አለ እዛ. This code serves to simplify airline operation where it's necessary to indicate airport points, origin and destination. ይሁሉ ለመንገደኛም ለኛም ለክሩም ለሁሉም easier እንዲሆን ተብሎ ነው. Otherwise ልክ በቃ ምንም እንደማያውቅ ነው ዝም ብለን we cannot go anywhere in the world ሳናውቅ የት እንደምንሄድ. So duplication in city names around the world like London, England and the UK, London, Ontario. So you see confusing ለምን አስፈለገ ብትሉ there is London in England, in the UK and London in Canada, Ontario. So እንዴት ነው differentiate የሚያደርጉት? How do they differentiate? ሁለት ላንደኖች አሉ.
By the code, by the CD
yes,
code.
By the code. Because otherwise it will be confusing. London, England, London, Ontario ስንል. So ticket agents confused ይሆናሉ. መንገደኛም confused ይሆናል. So what do we have here? Example, IATA administers the assignment of new airport codes. By the way, unless it's very strict, IATA ብቻ ነው ሊቀይረው የሚችለው. You cannot, no airline, አሁን ለምሳሌ አዲስ አበባ ቦሌ ኢንተርናሽናል ቦሌ ስንል ቦሌ ነው ስሙ. Or let's say New York, NWR. ኤርፖርቱ ማንም ሊቀይረው አይችልም. Except ብቻ ነው ስሙን ሊቀይረው የሚችለው. እኛ አሁን if you want to change our names we have to go to court አይደል እንዴ? ዝም ብዬ ኤደን መታሰቢያ መሆን አንችልም መታሰቢያም ኤደን. We want to change our names we'll have to go to court ማለት ነው. So the same thing here. Airport codes once assigned are considered permanent, permanent, and cannot be changed without strong justification. ለመቀየር እንኳን ቢፈልግ you need አሁን ፍርድ ቤት ምንድነው justification ይሉናል አይደል? You cannot just I want to change my name ብዬ ብሄድ why do you have to change your name? What's your reason? Justify ምስክር, you need all this to change your names. The same thing with airport codes. Once assigned, they are permanent and they cannot be changed without strong justification. That's airport. ስለዚህ ሊከለክሉ ይችላሉ። ኒውዮርክ no, I want to change. No, you cannot change. ሊሏቸውም ይችላሉ. Have to retain their even when the airport's name is changed. ስለዚህ በግድ መያዝ አለባቸው. They will need a very strong justification ማለት ነው. So there are approximately 9,500 airport codes. አስቡት እንግዲህ 9,500 airport codes. So cabin crew are not expected to know all the codes ብለናል, but you need to become familiar with the codes of airports too and from which their airline operates. ማወቅ አለብን አሁን when we go to London, which airport are we going to land ካሉ I don't know ማለት አንችልም. London Heathrow ነው የምናርፈው. So we should explain to the passenger or to the customers that we are going to land, because as I said there are 3 airports in London. London Heathrow እንላለን. አሁን ፓሪስ አለ. ፓሪስ ቻርልስ ደጎል እና ኦርሊ አለ. So where are we going to land ካለን usually Ethiopian Airlines lands in Charles de Gaulle Airport. Rome, the same thing. We have Fiumicino na Leonardo da Vinci aለ. So Ethiopian Airlines, where does it land? Fiumicino. So at least we should know. Africa እንኳን usually አንዳንድ ነው ያለው, so it's simple. But New York እንሄዳለን. Ethiopian Airlines flies to New York. So which airport? Newark or okay, Kennedy. Do we go to Kennedy or Newark? You know? No, ይኖርብናል. So we should be I don't know ማለት አንችልም. እንትናችን ላለ አናውን ስታደርግ our senior ማዳመጥ አለብን, and we should be knowledgeable ማለት ነው. So the use of codes that are unique to each airport eliminates a possible source of error. Okay, now let's see examples. መጽሐፋችሁ ላይ አለ. So O'Hare International Airport. This is the airport. The location is in Chicago, Illinois, in USA. City code ORD. If it says if you are going to Chicago, O'Hare Airport ORD ተብሎ ነው የሚጻፈው እንጂ O'Hare International Airport ተብሎ አይጻፍም. Then we have Dallas, which is in Texas, DFW. Then we have Charles de Gaulle, ቀደም ብያለሁ, in Paris, CDG. Then we have Schiphol in Amsterdam, MAS, Bode International Addis Ababa at ADD, የኛ. Then we have Kotoku International Airport, Accra, which is ACC. Then we have Narita International Airport, Tokyo, Japan, which is NRT. Then we have John F. Kennedy in New York, JFK, ቀደም ነግሬያችሁ ነበር. Then we have Newark Liberty, Newark, New Jersey, EWR. Then we have Singapore, sorry, ይሄ በስህተት ነው, Singapore, SIN. Then we have London Gatwick. We have Gatwick, we have Heathrow, and we have Stansted. ሶስት ኤርፖርት ነው ያለው. Usually Ethiopian Airlines is Heathrow or HR ነው የሚያርፈው. Okay, these are few examples እንግዲህ. So እናንተ እንኳን ማወቅ ቢኖርባችሁ you should know about Chicago, because Ethiopia, if you join Ethiopia, you should know about Charles de Gaulle, you should know about Amsterdam, Accra, Japan ጀመርን እንደ መሰለኝ, ኒውዮርክ, እነዚህን አትሊስት ማወቅ አለባችሁ. So let's break for today. Please read on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We'll have 2.5 hours, 2.5 hours. ያቃጠልነውን መተካት ይኖርብናል. ተግባባን? ስለዚህ በዛ አቅዱ ማለት ነው. 2.5 hours. So we have lost 2.5. ስለዚህ ምንድነው የምናደርገው? ሰኞ፣ ሮብ፣ አርብ 1:30 እንደገና በሚቀጥለው ሰኞ፣ ሮብ 2፣ አርብ በሚቀጥለው 15 days ማለት ነው። ሁለቱም ሳምንት additional half an hour እንትን እንላለን ማለት ነው። በተረፈው please read, thank you very much and ask ዝም ብላችሁ እንደ vacuum cleaner በኋላ ትወስዱና when I ask you a question አትበሉ። please read, if you don't understand እባካችሁ ጠይቁኝ። ግዴታዬ ነው። እኔ ግዴታዬ ነው። እናንተ ግዴታችሁ ነው መጠየቅ። እኔም ግዴታዬ ነው ማስተማር፣ መመለስ። እኔ አይሰለቸኝም። እናንተ 10 መጠየቅ ትችላላችሁ፣ መብታችሁ። if you don't understand I don't want you ዝም ብሎ ፈተና 90 100 ሸምድዶ መሄድ አይደለም። unless you understand the subject it's pointless if you get 100 and if I ask you and if you don't answer አልገባችሁ ማለት ነው። ሸምድዳችሁ ትመጣላችሁና ልክ ሰባ አግኝታችሁ ሳብጀክቱን ብታውቁት ነው እኔ የምመርጠው instead of getting 100 and not understanding the subject. So please, as much as possible, try to read. It's up to you. ትንሽ እያነበባችሁ please and go back. ያልገባችሁ ካለ always go back and read እና መልካም weekend ይሁንላችሁ. I'll see you on Monday. Please, let's keep in touch. Thank you very much, ladies.
Thank you.